Hello. In this video we will present to you two horror stories that actually happened. Here is the first story. There is a spacious house with a very beautiful garden. An investor bought a house from his heir, added some additional elements and completely modernized it, which made it very charming. The beautiful house was offered to people for rent. Someone rented it because it overlooks the beautiful and spacious house. In the forest, you can enjoy many wonderful landscapes. He and his entire family are happy to rent it out, then move all the furniture and stuff to the new house. They are very happy to live in it among them. The person in the rented house said that they all had the most beautiful and happiest time because his children were playing in the garden attached to the house. And this person finally found the peace he was looking for. A week after they moved into the house, his wife started to feel strange things. She was full of strange feelings all night. But she thought it was just a fantasy and an obsession until the day her husband came back from work. He found her in a miserable position. She was sitting in a corner of the house. Her whole body was trembling. Sweat was spurting from her body. Her eyes had 2 marks, as if she was looking at something. When she saw her husband, she said to him in a broken voice, "A woman appeared in front of me from scratch and warned me to leave the house or they would never have pity on us," telling them that they are the real owner of the house. Yes, she has lived here for many years and has a lot of family. The house cannot accommodate the 2 of us. We must leave. After the wife's conversation with her husband, a very short man appeared in front of her husband and said to him, "As your wife told you, we own the house and we want you to leave." The man asked them to give him a deadline so that he would move out and find a new lease. They gave him a chance for a month. During this period, no one will harm him, and he will not be harmed before him or any of his family members. And once this person has arranged himself, he will leave the house and never return to it. Story 2. Mariah's story may be one of the strangest stories that you have heard in your life. And the strange thing is that the story is real and happened in a city in the United States of America. The story began when Sarah was 18 years old and she was living an ordinary life with her mother, father, brother Harry, and her little sister Hannah until the day came. Sarah was a big fan of themes of jinn, ghosts, and horror stories. She used to read a lot in this field and was very interested in it. One day, after Sarah woke up in the morning, this mysterious message arrived on Sarah's phone. As Sarah usually wakes up from sleep and plays with her phone a little, "Sarah chose you to take revenge for me because you are the only person who will take my revenge," Sarah replied to him with astonishment. "Who are you?" He answered him immediately. "It is not important who I am, but I will explain to you my story. I am a dead person for more than 4 years. A person killed me for no reason. The problem for today is that the police considered my death an accident, and I want to take my right, and I chose you from all people to help me." Sarah at that moment started laughing and told her friend the message and said to her, "Surely this is one of the girls who wants to scare me and play a prank on me." Suddenly, while reading the message to her friend, she received another message from the same number that says, "Never read my messages to anyone here." Sarah got a little scared, and without introductions, I blocked his number. The next day, in the morning, Sarah went down and ate breakfast with her family, and here she told them of the strange message that she had received. Here her father told her not to be afraid of just people trying to mess with you and scare you. Sarah was not afraid at all and continued her day as usual and went to her studies and met her friend. While Sarah was returning home with her, she received a message from the same number written in it. "Sarah, why are you blocking me? Because this thing will not prevent me from texting you." Mariah, at this time, was amazed at how he could write to me from the same number, and I blocked him yesterday. Sarah replied, "Who are you, and if you want me, reply to her. I ask you for the second time, do you agree to take my revenge?" Sarah was still convinced that it was a prank from one of her friends, and that is why she answered him. If you are one of my friends and you are pranking me, stop, because I do not like this joke. In front of Sarah's school there was an abandoned building that no one lived in for a long time after he sent her to look at the building opposite you. Sarah looked there and saw a person dressed in black and pointing at her with his hand. The natural thing that Sarah did was she told her friend and told her to look at the building and look at that person who was pointing at me. Her friend looked well, but she did not see anyone there. At the same moment, a message arrived to Sarah saying, "Sarah, do not bother yourself. The person who is there will not be able to be seen by anyone but you." Here, fear entered Sarah's heart, so she tried to convince her friend of what she saw, but to no avail. In that case, Sarah decided to give up answering this person and to ignore him. Days passed and messages reached Sarah, but she did not answer him. At this time, a strange message arrived to Sarah, in which it was written, "Sarah, tomorrow will be your first warning." Sarah did not care about his words and said that he is a liar and he is only trying to scare me. The next day Sarah woke up and everything was normal. She went to school and met her friend and everything was normal. Sarah went home and her father's phone was ringing. A difficult and critical situation. Sarah, at that moment, remembered the message of that person and the warning and threat he had given her. They quickly went to the hospital and found Harry's condition had improved and became stable. Sarah told her father about the threat she received on her phone, and here her father decided to go to the nearest police station to report this threat.